Apex Entertainment is an entertainment facility in which one can enjoy bowling, kart racing, rope climbing, laser tag, as well as a giant arcade, as well as other things to come after these videos were shot. For 2 months, Apex is becoming the place to go to for family entertainment, and fun for the adults as well. That is, until... It's time for the greatest athleticism you've ever seen in your life. The pros and the leagues are shaking in their boots. With all the videos out there of talented bowlers showing their stuff, there's this series, as it is now time to watch me suck at bowling. Welcome to February's edition of Watch Me Suck at Bowling, hopefully coming to you from Apex Place in Marlborough, Massachusetts. I came just as it's supposed to be opening at 10 o'clock and the place is jam-packed. So that leaves us two things. One, are we able to do candlepin here, because they only have 6 of the 30 lanes for that? And two, are we even able to do tenpin here? Well, either way, we're going to find out, and for what I know, this place does play music, and very loudly, as well as having video played on the walls, so most likely, if we do play here, you're going to be looking at pin cam most of the time. Enough yapping, let's see if we are able to do anything here at Apex Place. And to no surprise, audio and video issues. Here we are at the bowling alley. Those are the candlepin lanes, and hard to do from this angle. There we go. You can see tenpin is offered as well. The flickering is visible in person, so nothing we can do about that. And we got some party rooms over here. And again, the tenpin, we're not looking at it too much, obviously because of the video. And there's another party room right there. And over here is a bar and grill. If you're done bowling or while you're waiting for bowling, you can have some fine food here. And over here is the Grand Prix room. We'll show you why that's a thing. VIP lounge, pretty much. And here's the place where you buy your per hour bowling as well as other things. And there's the restroom area as well as where we entered. And this is why there's a Grand Prix lounge, because they have kart racing. Looks pretty expansive and it's multi-level. Pretty interesting, I would say. Moving right along, passing the cashier, which by the way I think is severely understaffed for what they handle. Here's a giant arcade. And the stairs, I believe, I never really looked into it, go to the rope climbing, which we'll see again a bit later. And we climb up the stairs to the main level. There is an elevator, but we're getting in the exercise. And by the way, we were able to do both candlepin and tenpin just before wait times started to occur. Here's where you can do simulated golf and other sports like hockey as well. A little bit of a bar there. And trying not to get people, but there's the simulated golf. And on this side we got more stalls as well as once again the bar. Then we come back out into the main lobby, which is quite expansive and actually looks pretty nice. And then the sales office there, not sure what that's about, but it's a thing. And we climb up the stairs to see what's on the 3rd floor. Oddly enough, the subterranean level is 1 instead of basement. Here's Breakout, soon to be a one of those escape room things. BB Kids, it's an indoor playground for the children. And there's some construction going on. There's things that aren't quite finished yet. There's the go-kart racing again. And now we're heading up to the final level. And yes, there is an elevator. We just didn't ride it because we're not lazy. Finally up to the upper level. We have 2-story laser tag right in front of us. Just can't show it to you, obviously, because it's all kept in the dark. And over here, half axe, that's going to be one of those places where you can take out your anger on inanimate objects and smash stuff up with an axe. And as you can see, that's still under construction. And over here, we get a much better view of the future trampoline room. That's what we saw. It wasn't the go-kart track. That's still under construction. And we won't zoom into this too much, but there is a full-blown Planet Fitness gymnasium. Back to the main level, which is oddly enough floor 2. Now you can see the upper level of the go-kart track, the arcade, and over to the left is the climbing wall, which apparently I didn't show you quite yet, but I did at some point. The beauty of doing these videos long after. There's the rope climbing right there. And we got pool tables. Got a few of those. And yet again another bar and lounge facility, as well as some sort of vintage arcade games. They're modern, but they're supposed to be like the old stuff. Again, more bar and grill, especially this bar. Closed because it's just opened right now. I mean, literally, it's like 11 o'clock. The place opened at 10. And a second story view of the bowling alley, aiming low to minimize the video walls. And there's the VIP lounge, which I don't quite get what the difference is outside of being separated by glass. Then over here, it's the other end of the virtual golf, hockey, and what have not. And there's the vintage arcade games, and that's what Apex Place has. Well, I was taking pictures of Apex Place here in Marlborough. We have a race that's underway, and let's watch it if the battery holds up. And the question is, are we going to see any action? I think we will. I think they allow you a lap if they actually let you race. Then he disappears. There he is. And I don't think there's any actual race. And under a tunnel. Out the other side. And there's a yellow flag. Yeah, they're just letting them run circles. That go-kart footage was some nice bonus material, wasn't it? Here we are on the lanes, again showing you that it got tenpin. However, we're starting with candlepin, and we are on lane 4, trying to keep as much of that visual out of there as possible. And now it's time to show the high and low scores as of this moment. With that being said, here are the standings as of February 2018. In the land of candlepins, we have a high of 136, which was done at Putnam Street Lanes in Fitchburg, Massachusetts. Meanwhile, the low of 44 was done at Mason's when I started bowling the quote-unquote right way, which actually is the right way. Then moving on to duck pin, the high of 118 is somewhat respectable, just a little above average ability. And the low, surprisingly, is as high as it is, a 64. Surprised it hasn't dropped much after 6 months. That's when it dropped from 65 to 64. And then the land of the 10 pins. Average at best with a 155, and trying the two-handed bowling approach, I'm no Belmo, and that's for sure, cause that netted me, yes, a 26. And those are the high and lows as of now. And of course, Watch Me Suck at Bowling is proud to sponsor the hit candlepin TV show King of the Palace. Watch to your heart's content by typing in King of the Palace in the YouTube search bar. If you like it enough to subscribe, go to youtube.com/newpalacelanes. Hit that subscribe button, as well as the notification bell so you'll know when new episodes are up. The autofocus really loves this place. And like I said, can't do anything about the strobe effect. Here are the house balls. We checked the condition, but of course they're practically new, so why bother? But of course we use these, the urethane balls, the professional grade stuff, the only thing professional about the bowling. And now it's time to watch me suck at bowling.
Frame 1, ball 1.
Due to the loud music that's being played, most of the audio is unfortunately muted.
Ball 2.
Also, due to the video walls, most of the time you'll be staring at pin cam.
Ball 3.
Looks like another typical slow start. Wonderful. Cherry picking the 4-pin to get 7. And for those of you who like the pin setters, here's the Z4 in action. Based off of Bowmore Model D prints. And there you go.
Frame 2, ball 1.
As I said before, can't do anything about the strobe light effect. It's the same way in person. The trademark first ball 10-pin thing.
Ball 2.
Now let's see if we can get the other 9 to fall. Ouch, too far left. And pin stops.
Ball 3.
If there's anything good about this, that piece of wood could get us at least a 7. And we get 9. This play seems pretty hard, actually. We got a 7 and 1 and a 9 and 2. So far we're doing okay with a 16.
Frame 3, ball 1.
Another thing that ramps up the difficulty, there's no slide on the approaches.
Ball 2.
At least the pins fall when they collide over here. That's a plus.
Ball 3, blew that one.
Blew that one indeed. Thank goodness we didn't hit the wood in the gutter. First clean plate with a 10.
Frame 4, ball 1.
We got one clean plate down. Can we get even more of them?
Ball 2.
That pin is past the pin plate, but far behind the deadwood line.
Ball 3.
And the bowling gods are trying to tell me something. And that's what I think of them, a 10. Marking would be better, but 2 10s, not too bad. We're at 36, one more 10 and we get a microwave turkey dinner.
Frame 5, ball 1.
Let's see if we can clear the plate for a 3rd time. Maybe in less than 3 balls.
Ball 2.
Need to hit the Brooklyn side pocket to get the wood to make it all go away.
Now I have 49.
Or do that instead. Still, more pins.
Ball 3.
The scoring system says I have a 6. Doesn't look that way, though. And that's a 7, but the automatic scoring system said that it was a 6. Since the ball didn't make fair contact with wood or standing pin, that last pin that fell does not count. It's still 7.
Frame 6, ball 1.
Last frame was the first time the score got messed up by the automatic system.
Ball 2.
4 are standing, but the systems say 5 are.
Ball 3, the automatic scoring's wrong. Big shock.
To be fair, I failed to correct the score. That's why the video editing happens, so we know what it is. 7. Scoring system messed up the last 2 frames, however frame 6 came out in the wash anyway with a 7. And I actually got a 7 and not a 6 and 5. We are at 50.
Frame 7, ball 1, it righted itself.
Rare that a system screws up, but ultimately everything comes out in the end. Hopefully it stops.
Ball 2, automatic scoring sucks.
For those of you that know me, automatic scoring, I hate it. Doesn't matter where it is. No good. Best I can do is 9. And the funny thing is, the automatic scoring actually got that right. Never seen a system anywhere do that.
Ball 3, automatic actually got that one right.
Somehow, not counting that foul ball, it's probably a fluke. It sure missed that pin. That's a 6.
Frame 8, ball 1.
The automatic system has been screwing up so much, I decided to let it run its course and we'll look at it in the editor.
Ball 2.
At this point, I didn't realize the automatic scoring actually stopped working.
Ball 3, lob ball was behind the arrows, we let it live.
The dreaded 2-pinner. It looks so much easier than what it really is. And it's an 8. Those 2 frames were not the greatest. I mean, we got a 6 and 7, which isn't so hot, and a halfway decent 8 and 8. We are at a 64 and 2 more frames that the automatic system never caught.
Frame 9, ball 1, a good game, maybe?
As stated many times, the video editor is the final judge. If they treated the approaches properly, or even at all, I would not have fallen.
Ball 2. Obviously that one slipped.
Unlikely to happen, but we're going for the Emily. That's nothing on the first ball, everything on the second. First we fall and the ball slips, and then the second one's a half Worcester. Great.
Ball 3. Gotta go by the video now.
This is when I noticed the automatic system completely failed to keep track. And we got a lousy 5.
Frame 10, ball 1. This thing literally lost 2 frames.
Technically it lost 3 because frame 8, the total it got was completely erroneous.
Ball 2.
We need an Emily just to get into good territory. Nope, all we're getting is mediocre.
Ball 3.
Now to see what level of mediocrity will this be? Low or decent? Barely mediocre, just barely. Stink frame of 3. While I do say I can hold my own in candlepin, I still prove that I can still suck. While absolutely zero slide is something that is not wanted, a good bowler can actually compensate for that for the most part, and clearly I couldn't. The last 2 frames were abysmal, with a 5 and 9 and a stink frame of 3 and 10. The great collapse occurs with a pathetic, yet mediocre 72. And that will be the first game for the month of February from Apex Entertainment in Marlborough, Massachusetts. This is Watch Me Suck at Bowling and Georgia 551 saying hope you enjoyed and have a good one.